One of the biggest questions we get as a traveling family is, how do your kids receive an education? Well, stay tuned and you'll find out.
Hey everybody, I'm Bill.
And I'm Natasha.
And we are nursing our travel bug, and welcome back to another episode.
We are exploring the city of Philadelphia and all of the rich history that comes along with it.
As we mentioned in the intro, this is not just for us to see Philadelphia, but it's also a teaching tool that we use to teach our kids along the way. Some might call it road schooling.
It's just our version of homeschooling. One thing I've noticed as an adult since we've started traveling is I have adopted a love of history. It was actually my least favorite subject in school because it was so hard for me to remember names and dates. But when you get to come and experience history, put your feet down where so many others had been before you, you really get that sense of awe and inspiration. And I feel like that is also something that our kids are learning and experiencing.
This is so cool. We just took a tour. This is Independence Hall. This is where our forefathers have met. This is where they voted. They had the resolution on independency. They signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution as well.
Yes, this is a historical site, and we've been to DC and got to visit a lot of the history in the local government, but this is where it was born. This is where it all began.
So we're going to see what else we can get into around here and take you with us.
We're going to show you how road schooling and teaching our kids about our history in the moment is so much better than any other education we could provide them.
Let's get to it.
The signer, inspired by George Clymer, Philadelphia merchant, statesman, and signer of both the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. The signer commemorates the spirit and deeds of all who devoted their lives to the cause of American freedom. This building set the first Senate and the first House of Representatives of the United States of America. Herein, George Washington was inaugurated president March 4th, 1793, and closed his official career when herein also John Adams was inaugurated the second president of the United States March 4th, 1797. We love visiting our national parks. And it's not just because of the beautiful places you get to see and explore, but it's also because of a lot of the history and the science that goes along with those national parks. And here in the city of Philadelphia, the national parks are really surrounded around a lot of historical sites. The National Park Service does a great way of engaging the kids in learning with their Junior Ranger program. And as a memento, the kids get a badge when completed. So it's a lot of fun and it's a great sense of accomplishment for them. And they get a memento of the time that they spent at that park.
Of course, that's not all we do for their homeschool curriculum.
No, we actually have a program that we use for all of the different subjects that the kids have throughout the year. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We'll share them with you.
You earlier, we're going to show you what we've kind of gone through since we've started Full-Time RVing.
Now initially when we started out, the kids were 7 and 10. We were new to RVing, we didn't have good internet, so we went with a traditional textbook program through My Father's World. For more information about that particular program and what it looks like, check out the link up here.
Lots of books, heavy books, led by me, sitting at a table with the kids. We wanted something different. So next we moved on to something called Easy Peasy. Just as the name suggests, it was pretty easy for the kids.
It was great because it's all online. They did still have workbooks that you could actually order from Amazon or print off yourself. But it was still pretty heavy as far as hands-on because we had to double check the children's work. We had to ensure that they were actually learning what they were supposed to and not just reading through and saying, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah, that was the tough part. I'm like, well, just because you're reading a novel, that means I have to read the novel so I know what questions to ask to follow up. I know, tough life, and I know that that's what I signed up for. But we decided to go a different route. This year the kids are older. Will would be middle school. Bella's in 10th grade, sophomore in high school. Things are getting a little more complicated, so we wanted something different again.
So we stuck with an online program, but this one is called Monarch. And this is nice because we still have the ability to schedule what subjects they learn on what day. It's still self-driven. They can take as much or as little time as they want in order to accomplish it. But 85% of this program is actually graded within the program. So it's a lot less hands-on for us, especially for those difficult subjects like chemistry or geometry that maybe we haven't seen in a long time.
To be honest, it's only our second week using it. Some things that I like so far is that we can set a threshold for their quizzes, and if they get a score below a certain percentage, it'll shoot us an email and let us know what's going on.
It does mean that the kids need to take notes and be more diligent about actually practicing what they learn. So we're really seeing their strengths and their weaknesses, and they know that they just can't skip over things and check a box to be done because it checks for understanding. So far so good. I like it.
I like homeschool because you can do it whenever you want and you don't have to do it for 8 hours straight. I like homeschooling because you can learn more than public school because you go to museums and national parks.
So yeah, we get that question all the time. What are the kids doing for school? What are we doing to make sure they're learning correctly? We actually recently talked to an aunt and uncle of mine. They were both teachers. So I know coming from them, it's probably a legitimate concern.
Well, and to be honest, the way we grew up, in a classroom with textbooks, getting A, B, C's, and D's, like that's how you were graded. But you don't get the life skills with that too. So I feel like we've got a good balance between just learning life, experiencing life. The kids have to cook their meals at home. We're traveling, so they are experiencing local cultures and foods and things that they may not experience if they were stationary at home. And we're incorporating, other learning aspects. So the world is their classroom, and I feel that gives them a leg up compared to just your standard classroom teaching.
So that's what we do. And there's also a glimpse at other ways we are constantly learning when we're out sightseeing. Do you have any questions for us? Please let us know down in the comments.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed this video, that you found it educational, that you got some good tips and tricks, or that you just understand what we do to educate our children. If so, please give the video a big thumbs up.
If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, ring that notification bell, and maybe even punch that join button. All of those buttons really help us out. Thank you.
It also helps fund the children's education.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
That's why the stuff ain't free. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Natasha.
I'm Bill.
And we're nursing our travel bug, encouraging you to nurse what makes you happy. And I'm happy knowing that our kids are learning about this big, beautiful country.